Welcome back. Yesterday, Bruce Jenner was involved in a horrific 4-car accident in Malibu, California. It left 1 person dead and 5 others injured. The former Olympic gold medalist and more recently a Kardashian reality TV star walked away from the crash unharmed. And now the LA County Sheriff is launching a vehicular manslaughter criminal investigation. There are reports that Jenner has told his lawyer that he was being chased by paparazzi. And while we don't know that to be true, we do know Jenner has been in the spotlight for months, with speculation running rampant that Jenner is transitioning from a man to a woman. And all the speculation and gossip and innuendo, well, it's made his photograph the most wanted image in Hollywood. Joining me now near the crash site is CNN's Sarah Seidner. Sarah, what's the best information we have about the presence of paparazzi at the scene?
We were listening to a lieutenant who was talking to us about whether or not the paparazzi had any hand in this. And their reaction was there's no indication at this time that Bruce Jenner was trying to escape from the paparazzi or doing any sort of maneuver to get away from the paparazzi. But however, that the paparazzi was likely there. And if you look at some of the pictures that's come out from the scene, you can see that there were people definitely taking pictures of him, because they have a picture of before the crash, while the crash is happening, and after the crash happened. And it was a horrific crash. When you see these pictures, you can see the car that Bruce Jenner, according to police, hit from behind and pushed into oncoming traffic, which was then hit by a Hummer. The person in that car, a woman, we're told by the coroner, was killed. And as you mentioned, 7 people headed to the hospital because of this very, very bad accident. But right now, according to officials, there is no vehicular manslaughter case being looked at. It is simply a traffic accident with a fatality. We are hearing officially that is the word from the Sheriff's Department this morning. I just checked with them. However, they are still investigating this case, trying to figure out exactly what the sequence of events were. But several cars involved in this, one of them got the brunt of it, killing the driver. Brian?
Sarah, that's important. So there is no criminal investigation ongoing at this moment.
At this moment, we're told, and this is the official word, and there's a lot, as you know, this town has a lot of sources, and there's always a lot of rumors going on. But officially, right now, we're told it's just a traffic incident that had a fatality. But there is still an open investigation right now into what happened exactly at this scene, Brian.
Got it. Sarah, thanks very much. You're describing rumors that happen in legal contexts. Well, there are many, many entertainment contexts. Gossip magazines have been claiming Bruce Jenner is transitioning from male to female for a while now. Take a look at this controversial cover from In Touch magazine. It photoshopped lipstick onto Bruce Jenner and put his head on actress Stephanie Beacham's body. And with reports that Jenner is documenting his transition for a reality TV show, this possibility is getting a lot of media coverage. I want to bring in someone who knows firsthand what it's like when the media takes a very private matter and turns it into a very public spectacle. Renee Richards made headlines when she won the right to play professional tennis as a woman after having gender reassignment surgery in 1975. We can see here in these photos, she went on to coach some tennis greats, and she's now an eye surgeon and also the author of Spy Night and Other Memories, a collection of stories from Dick and Renee. Renee, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Brian, for having me.
I'm trying to imagine what Bruce Jenner might be going through. He hasn't said anything publicly. I find myself wondering if I should use, which pronoun I should use, he or she, given that the photos seem to be significant evidence. Do you think this should be fair game for journalists before he says something publicly about it?
Well, from a personal standpoint, I would say no, because I was very upset when I went through my transformation and tried to do it privately, as was done in those days, so-called woodworking. And I moved 3,000 miles away, changed my name, and then I was outed when I played in a tennis tournament and won it in La Jolla. And forever after, I was a household word. So from my standpoint, yes, I don't think the public has any right to know. But on the other hand, Bruce Jenner is a quasi-public figure, and tens of millions of people know about him and his family, and I would think it would be almost impossible for him to keep almost anything that he's doing, especially like a eventual coming sex change operation, to keep it private.
Especially considering that he's apparently producing or working on a reality show about this. That could be a really important educational moment for viewers, right?
Well, I don't know. I suppose it might. There is a lot now going on in terms of education of the public about people who have the transgender condition. But anything new and forthright and correct would be helpful, and coming from somebody like Bruce Jenner, who was an Olympic decathlon champion, I think it would count for something.
Do you think there's anything you'd like to tell him at this moment when he's maybe preparing to do his first television interview? There's rumors that Diane Sawyer will be talking to him shortly.
I think it would be preposterous for me to try to advise Bruce Jenner.
But based on your experience in the 70s, nothing that you would take away from that for him?
I learned my lesson when every time a transgender athlete tried to compete in his or her sport, I would get the call from all over the world to give my opinion on it. And I gave one once about a Canadian mountain biker, and I said I didn't think that she should play on the national team, but maybe she should just play in club events and bike in club events. And the headline in the Canadian newspaper the next day was, "Doc says, do as I say, not as I do."
The press has a warping effect sometimes. It can be troubling. Renee, thank you for being here. It's good talking with you.
Thank you, Brian.